my backup camera just in case something goes down. Anything happening that's... You haven't seen it?
Nah, I had
I
one
was just
lady,
on...
but then she got a phone. Her daughter was there when it started off, and they went to the back. They was in the CBS, but then she got in the car.
Right, Murphy's Law, right?
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Let me just get this piece. There you go. Hold on just a second. This has to get plugged in first. These new things. All right. Let me just dial in real quick.
He went up that way.
Still up that way?
I think so. I never seen him come back. So
Okay, so you haven't seen him come back?
yeah.
All right, calling now. I'm dialed in.
All right.
Keep this in my pocket just in case. Hey, how are you? Good to see you. Long time. All right. They're not.
Yeah.
Check, check, check. Check, check, check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So good to see you.
Good to see you, brother.
Hey, I got you. Come to me anytime you want.
Got an idea what you're gonna talk about?
No idea. I can step out if you want to take.
I just go by where you are.
Am I where you want me?
Yeah.
10-4. Got some B-roll for you. This thing has a pretty good zoom on it, believe it or not. All right. Here we go. Yeah, absolutely. We're right here at Emory Hospital. This is the main Emory Hospital, and it's very fortunate for any potential casualties in this particular incident because Emory Hospital is literally within walking distance of this shooting scene. Obviously, multiple ambulances are here, and we've seen many more responding. In fact, we've seen ambulances from other jurisdictions still coming to the scene. That is not a good sign. It could be out of an abundance of caution, but we've seen several ambulances pouring in as others are coming out. Here at the hospital right now, I'll take a step out of the way just so you can see some of the pictures. We've got so many law enforcement vehicles, and these are law enforcement vehicles from so many different jurisdictions. DeKalb Police is the most we're seeing right here, but of course you have Atlanta Police assisting. You have people from jurisdictions all over the place. I saw a Sandy Springs Police Department vehicle pulling up. Also Dunwoody, Clayton County, Fulton County. This is an all hands on deck situation. And we are continuing to see police vehicles coming in, lights and sirens. So even though from those aerial images we are seeing a more calm scene around the CVS itself, we're seeing a very active, extended scene of law enforcement arriving. Now, I've been doing this a really long time. It's my 35th year. I've covered, unfortunately, multiple active shooter cases over those years, and I can tell you it plays out like this, where you have all of these agencies responding because there's different phases. The first phase that we saw from those aerial pictures, that we were very cautious to show because we did not want to give up police positions. Remember, the bad guys in an active shooter situation can pull up a live stream, and if we're showing those pictures live, they can see where the police are. That's why we were very careful not to show police positions as it was happening and as it was unfolding, as officers were taking cover. That's that first phase we were talking about. That's when you have an active shooter situation. Now seeing another police car coming in from DeKalb, lights and sirens, although now slowing down. So some leaving, some more arriving. But in that first phase of an active shooter situation, what you have is what they call the single officer response. This is post-Virginia Tech. Where Seung-Hui Cho had shot so many people at Virginia Tech, they launched that single officer response. You don't wait for SWAT. You don't even wait for backup. The first officer on the scene goes in and confronts the shooter because every second you wait, people can die. It's called statistical homicide. If you wait, even though there's great risk to that single officer, that is the standardized training across the nation. Every single police officer in the state of Georgia gets that single officer response training to an active shooter situation. The next phase, and what it appears to have happened in this case, again, just from those aerial pictures when you saw the officers taking cover, we may have had a barricaded gunman situation. Now, there are two kinds of barricaded gunmen. One is where the barricaded gunman is in there alone. Then officers have all the time in the world. They can call in SWAT, set up a perimeter, negotiate, wait the gunman out. But then if they have hostages, that's a different story. Or if there are other people, innocent people, in there with them or in the scene with them, with that shooter or shooters, then of course you have to have a different response totally in that circumstance. It is not clear yet exactly how this unfolded. It is clear that police thought they were in that second phase, whether or not the shooting itself was over. Those pictures we're starting to see with bullet holes in windows, not only of the CDC, but also in responding police vehicles, indicates a tremendous amount of gunfire, likely an exchange of gunfire. We'll continue to monitor it here from Emory Hospital. I'm Chief Investigator Brendan Keefe. Thank you. Yes. Yeah. Just keep the live shot of you. going? You're good. Yeah, that shot's hot. Oh, good. Okay. Good to know. You don't have a crew up?
No.
Okay.
I mean, just right up in that corner, there's been several people that have come out.
Got it.
Crying. I just tell them right
Yeah, we'll move. We can move up.
towards there, there's been several people that have come out of that parking office crying.
Control room. We're gonna move up.
Yeah, that's just a better.
Are we? Is our shot clear to move up? We're gonna move up closer. Okay, because there's people coming out of the hospital crying. We're not in position. Okay, we can go. Thank you. I'll grab your sticks. Sorry. Good.
He talking about here, or they
He's
talking
talking
about
up. He said up there. I don't think it's right here. Is that? Yeah, I wonder if they mean here. Should we? You want to start here, and I don't know. You want to start here, and I'll go eyeball it.
Alright,
I'll be right back. I'll leave the mic right here.
alright.
I don't know. What do you want to do? Let us know if you need us. You can come to us anytime. sheriff himself.
Of the cab?
Oh, yeah.
That's Melanie. It looks like my eyes bad.
You may be wrong. I mean, you may be right. I may be wrong.
Law enforcement. Yeah, that was like University Hospital in Atlanta.
I just don't do enough GA to know anything.
Damn near the cop got shot. I don't know if I killed. Got shot at? Yeah. I know that.
Yes. Anytime. You come to me anytime you want. I'll be ready. Can I just step in front? Stand by. You may have to pop up a little now. Do you want me to step one way or the other?
Yeah.
No, we're not getting any information like that at this point. It's simply too soon. And as you know, we just got the information that the shooter himself, is dead at this point. That is why we have seen a calming in terms of the response. Remember, we talked about those phases of the response. We're now shifting into the investigation phase now that the initial active shooter situation is over. There have not been any reports of additional shooters. There almost always are in an active shooter situation, and the reason is different witnesses see the same person from different vantage points or at different times in different locations and call that in. And then that is called in as multiple shooters, and it's almost always wrong. We have not heard that in this particular case, so it appears that the immediate threat is over and they're shifting into that investigation phase. But at the same time, there is the medical phase, and that's what's going on behind me here. We have a very large police presence here at Emory Hospital. We are just a few steps right now from the emergency entrance of Emory Hospital. And as you know, there are multiple Emory Hospital locations around the metro area. This is the Emory University Hospital. And remember, there are only so many level 1 trauma centers in the Atlanta area. So some people go to Grady depending on the situation. Some can come right here to Emory. There are different levels of trauma care at these locations. But the most important thing about Emory Hospital is the proximity to the scene itself. This is, as I mentioned, essentially steps away from the scene on Clifton, because it is just down the road from the CVS. It's just around the corner from my eyesight right now. In fact, the road is blocked.
would it be? With the opposite side is that entrance is where that as well.
Yeah, I think that's the fire chief, maybe.
Transported inside of there, just mobilizing and parking that to the side. The mayor was still in immense presence here. You can still see a couple of helicopters, I believe, on that is some of our news helicopters, pretty close to the ground and still circling around this area as well. They're still telling us you have to come to this area. You need to find some rockets to go. This will last 4 hours, so it's safe to say here closer to this.
I don't know where the PIO went.
I just wanted to walk you through what we're seeing as we had an advantage closer to Briarcliff, but now we're able to really get a eyes from the ground view here as well. So a lot happening behind you. Yeah, Tom, you mentioned that. So where I was earlier, where I wasn't able to walk any further, there were people there who were living in the apartment complex. They sent out some kind of coordination saying, you know, it's not going to come in. They're not going to let you in and out if you live there. I also, on my walk up, I passed by a couple of express buses. So this happened around 4 o'clock. Many of those buses coming in, taking those workers who live near CDC or maybe Emory University or that hospital. Several of those buses are just parked to the side there. They can't go up any further, and they're kind of stuck in this scene here for quite some time. Not sure if there were anybody on those buses, but I saw those bus drivers standing up. Hey, Scott, do me a favor. Get ready. If you can, take it off for me and point back through there. You can see a procession of what looks like SWAT vehicles coming up through here, just showing that people are still coming in and out as well. So that looks like a pretty big truck that's going to be parading up to this scene as they just add on to the dozens of law enforcement officers that are already up here as well. I can't tell it from this distance who they belong to, but just to show you that they're still just getting started. More police vehicles are coming in. I believe that might be a laser police, but of course they are starting to come in, and let's see if they where they park those vehicles here. We'll keep an eye on it, Tom, but I just wanted to show you that.
This is Patrick. I don't know if you were trying to get a hold of Yasmina. We are not going to the presser. I think Niamani's going to do it. So we're just going to hang out right here. Yeah.
I know you gotta keep the schedule, right?
Hey guys, if you need a hit, I can do a hit for y'all.
Yes, I'm Courtney. So I talked to the community.
Not a live interview, but I'm seeing the mayor. The mayor is here, and I may just bring in that aspect of it, that he's now on scene to kind of gather intel. So I may just talk over live pictures. Yeah, I got you. Not a live interview, but we're seeing the mayor on scene, so I'll just talk over live pictures. I see Rod Smith, the fire chief for Atlanta. So I'll just sort of talk about now city officials are on scene. Can I see it? Do you still see him in white? That's fine. That's fine.
Scott, you can also look in there if you want.
Sounds good. He's kind of blocked, but that's him. Yeah.
That's as zoomed in as I can get.
Yep. Just keep following him. I'm ready. Yeah, just toss me. It'll be over pictures. Hey Blair, we're now much closer, I would say just a couple 100 feet away from that CVS at Emory Point, right across the street from the CDC. And if you were looking at your screen right now, we were just able to see this is Mayor Andre Dickens. He is on scene here. You'll see him there in the white shirt. He's right there. He's been gathering intel from what we've seen over the last couple of minutes. So you mentioned that Governor Brian Kemp, he's weighed in, as have other state, federal leaders have weighed in, and now we're seeing that Mayor Andre Dickens, Atlanta's mayor, is on the ground right across the street from the CDC. He just last week was touting, celebrating Atlanta for how well the city has addressed violent crime in the last year. Violent crime's down roughly 25% year over year, this time compared to last year. This, though, comes after a very violent weekend 2 weekends ago, where there were 12 separate shootings, 29 separate individuals were shot, 2 people were killed. So we certainly are seeing a slight uptick in violent crime here in Atlanta. And there's the mayor right there in the white shirt in the middle of your screen. We've seen him walking to different officials trying to gather information. I've seen his team is also on site. I saw Fire Chief Roderick Smith from the Atlanta Fire Department. He's on scene as well. So Emory very much a part of the city of Atlanta and this jurisdiction. So of course the mayor is trying to keep tabs on the latest of what's going on in this investigation. If he gets a little bit closer to us, guys, we're about 100 feet from him. So this is our shot zoomed in all the way. We'll certainly try and get some information from him as he's trying to, I see him moving up the hill now, getting a little bit closer to that CVS, a little bit closer to the CDC. So we're certainly watching this intently. It'll be very important to see how the city, how Emory responds from this active shooter situation. So there's going to be plenty of time to bring in perspective and talk about next steps. And we're certainly seeing city leaders on the ground addressing the crisis as it's happening. Back to you. I'm going to come back on scene. We are starting to see certainly the temperature is coming down certainly, but I wanted to grab this bag just here. I'm going to put it right back down, but if you can see what's in this bag, there are water bottles in this bag. This is children's clothing in this bag. We've also seen a lot of parents coming from that daycare center trying to track down their children. So this gives you a sense at what's still at play right now. A lot of that we don't know, but here's a look at the scene. Certainly the temperature though has come down, and we're seeing more officials driving into the CDC campus. Those were those vehicles that just drove into the CDC right there. So this is going to be the response to this active shooter situation, certainly dialing back a little bit. And for those who live in the area and trying to get to their children on scene, yeah, we're certainly starting to see things level out a little bit, I would say. Not as much intensity, still a lot of unknowns that we don't know, certainly for parents who are trying to touch base with their children at that nearby daycare. So we're going to continue to monitor things, Blair, but certainly the tone of this afternoon has improved, I would say, over the last 30 minutes.
Thank you. This is my lifesaver.
Right. I mean, what has happened is one thing, and now what happens next is a whole nother thing. They're going to have to sit down and talk with their children about what happens. You heard from that woman earlier, Catherine. They have 2 3.5-year-old twins. They rushed here. She said she went into mama bear mode. She said she was flying past law enforcement, going through red lights. She had to get to that daycare to try and get her hands on her 2 children. In the end, she was pushed back, and that's when we were able to talk with her. I went ahead and grabbed her cell number because I said, Catherine, I got to figure out how you're doing later tonight. We got to check back in to see how you're doing. Were you able to get your hands on them? What was that moment like when you were able to finally kind of give them that hug? Obviously 3.5 years old, they don't know what's going on. These young parents, they're still trying to figure out how to navigate an active shooter situation with 2 young toddlers. So yeah, I mean, while the scene on the ground is starting to settle down just a little bit, by no means for a lot of families out there who are in the crux of this, they're very much going to be living with these emotions for hours, days, probably months to come. Coast.
Look, Patrick. I'm Dave. Hi, from CBS. Hi, Lauren. I'm Dave from CBS. I know you because Natalie works at CBS. Yeah, on the desk. She's not right.
Nice to connect.
Yeah. She's good. She keeps on sending me text messages. I'm like, I get text messages coming from somebody from everywhere. That's so cool. Just as you thought your day was over.
We were literally, we had done our 5 o'clock live shot. I was going home.
Oh,
And
yes.
they were
Yeah.
like,
I was sitting on the couch. Right. And then oh, did you send an audio thing?
not intentional.
Oh, okay. What is our next hit? And then we may have hopefully that's so far down in the show that nobody can realize that we're of all the scrutiny that these like 130 pieces go through. Oh, I have a banner on YouTube. What it's USDC. This is
You can pull out.
the nearby distance. But this is probably a half a mile on Clifton Road, up Clifton Road as we're coming down Briarcliff. I'll get more familiar with this area. There's a QT, there's a barbecue restaurant that's up here. This entire half a mile is still lined with nothing but police officers. We're not allowed to go up to where we are right here. Is that I'm going to just do a little walk and talk. Scott Simpson, my photographer here. I know you're still talking, but you were in the parking lot. I know I'm putting you in the spot. Just walk me through a little bit what you heard when you were standing outside. This is very close to our studios.
Hanging in there? What? Hanging in there?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We got